I like that we just got like Mary's, like it used to be like Hamo's book, and I thought that was like kind of fun that Hamo's book is like in the thing.
Yeah.
But now it's just like
But now, what, you're busy reading it?
Well, no, I've already read it.
Oh, you felt like you finished it. Okay.
Yeah.
So you finished it? You were only halfway through the last
then I burnt it. This is my custom.
Oh, yeah.
Tom, you're not going to believe what happens at the end. He gets the ICO.
You might find that it's actually, it doesn't burn. You can set fire to it, but the pages don't actually burn. It's like the devil's work.
Nice.
You know,
That's
you throw it in the bin and it like mysteriously comes back. It'll be under your pillow or something like that.
Yeah, and if you read it backwards, it sounds like Led Zeppelin. It's a big vibe, Hamo's book.
Sometimes I ask Dan questions about you, Hamo, and he's like, it's in the book. I'm like, nah, fuck, I'm going to have to read it, aren't I?
No, I learned some stuff about Hamo in the book.
It's an easy read, Tom.
It's definitely got like an origin story. It definitely sounds like Hamo's written it due to the blatant homophobia. It's weird that he felt the need to document all those prison conversations verbatim. Man, you're not going to believe what Gary said next.
Interior prison cell.
In the original draft of the book, I didn't realize like I like described the race of every prison guard every time. Like it sounded really racist.
What do you mean? Wait, this first draft, it didn't end up that way?
Yeah, that's right. So it'd be like the Indian prison guard, the massive Islander prison guard.
Was that because like you didn't learn their names, or like
You never knew their names.
Oh, really? They didn't introduce themselves.
No, you just call them all. They're all chief.
Chief.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or behind their back, they're a screw.
But what about chief? But what about the chief prison guard? Chief.
He's just chief as well.
Just chief as well.
Just
a guy
So you guys don't respect the prison guard hierarchy.
There's no rankings. No, for
Well,
us,
I think
they're all chief.
Maybe you guys deserve to be in prison.
Or
then.
if it's a female, Miss.
Miss Chief.
Or behind their back, a screw S.
A screw S.
Screw S.
a screw S. I don't mind that. That sounds like a lady who's inherited a hardware fortune.
So is chief just a colloquialism the way you might call him boss or champion or whatever, or is it actually a title?
So,
They tried champ initially.
Champ.
Yeah.
Champo.
But yeah, apparently that means cocksucker in jail. I don't know.
Champ means cocksucker in jail?
Yeah, apparently, but like it's not.
I'm going for the belt.
Yeah, there's the heavyweight champ, the hardcore champ, the tag team champ,
The tag team champ.
double champ.
a couple of cocksuckers. The hardcore champ, they can use objects. Any found object is fine.
No
Not just
holds
their hands.
barred. Yeah.
there's
Give him
no-
the chair.
No DQs.
I gave him the chair so he could sit down.
I was sucking this guy from the top of a ladder. Hardcore champ.
I'm surprised. These aren't references I would imagine for you to reach for, Dan. Is this because you watched the Vince McMahon documentary?
Wait, you don't think I was into wrestling?
You're a wrestling guy? I don't know this.
Everyone was into wrestling.
How are you into wrestling?
We were the attitude era of wrestling.
WCW, NWO.
I was never WCW. That's interesting. I was always WWF. What it was called back then, before those fucking pandas interfered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck those pandas.
Fuck those pandas. I wish someone would.
And then I had to change it.
So do the zoologists. Everyone's like, I wish somebody would fuck one of these pandas. Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
They're too busy watching wrestling.
I don't get horny enough, do they?
They're too busy fighting in Tekken.
Yeah. Is that right? There's a panda in Tekken.
There's Kuma, who is a bear, and I believe there's also a panda as well.
Separate to the bear.
Separate to the bear. Because I was trying to remember this the other day. Like, you know, in Street Fighter, so there was like Ken and Ryu, and then there was the other guy who you could like kind of unlock, and his name starts with an A, but he had all the same attacks.
Oh.
And despite having thought of this several weeks ago, I haven't looked it up. So I guess it's just a cliff flogger.
Yeah. Do you want me to look it up or you want to leave it there?
I don't know what you look. Is it Akuma? Maybe it's Akuma.
Bison was the one that I liked.
You were an M. Bison guy.
Yeah.
I can see that. Man in uniform.
Yeah.
That's actually a very bizarre choice.
He had a sharp haircut.
You nailed it on Akuma.
Oh, nice.
There you go.
Lovely.
Sharp haircut. Wasn't he wearing a hat all the time?
Oh,
Yeah.
I think of the wrong guy. Who's the guy with the blonde hair? That was like,
Guile.
What was it?
Guile.
Guile.
Guile. Played by Jean-Claude Van Damme in the Street Fighter movie.
yeah, sorry,
where
that's
Kylie
what
Minogue played Chun-Li, I believe.
M. Bison had, was it a red hat?
Oh, wait, no.
Yeah.
Kylie Minogue didn't play Chun-Li. Did she?
Kylie Minogue was in that movie though, right?
I don't think it was. Maybe she was Cammy? Because Chun-Li is Asian.
Yeah, I know. I thought that was the point you were making.
Right. You thought it was like a Last Samurai Tom Cruise situation.
Yeah. Well, no, because that character's white.
He's meant
Is
to
he?
be.
Well,
But he's meant to be.
Oh, okay. I hadn't seen the movie. I just thought they were like, look, Tom Cruise is a great actor.
no, he's like an American who's emigrated to.
Oh, I never got the plot of that.
Kylie Minogue in Street Fighter. Cammy.
Cammy.
Yeah.
Cammy's kind of like a Russian broad, kind of like a Black Widow type character.
No, who was
but
the-
less buxom?
Wasn't there? There was like an anime film recently, or like based on an anime that I thought like Gwyneth Paltrow or Scarlett Johansson played.
Oh, Ghost or something?
Yeah, Ghost in the Shell, Ghost in the Machine,
something like that.
Ghost in the Shell.
Ghost in the Shell.
and she was playing like a famously Japanese character, and they were like, "No, you can do it."
A famously Japanese character like Godzilla.
Gojira.
Every time. But famously Japanese. Is Godzilla Japanese?
What's Godzilla's origin story? Isn't Godzilla like an alien?
I just
I think he's
realized.
a-
I'm like, is he a lizard? It's just a big lizard?
Yeah, I think what is he from the center of the earth? Or there was like in one version of the movies, he like was some kind of small reptile near the was it the French atoll? Was that what it's called? Where they were doing nuclear testing, and that's how.
Okay.
So I don't know if he's strictly Japanese,
Like-
but that's.
The first time in Japanese history they mentioned nuclear weapons.
That was a
Usually they're like, oh, what do we do then? Not much. Anyway, 1946, what a year.
That is true though. Wasn't Godzilla kind of creation of the post-nuclear?
I don't know. I got
believe
no
so.
Godzilla origin story.
Yeah.
All I can think about when we were having this conversation is I was thinking about King Kong, because like Godzilla vs. King Kong. And I was like, he is from Africa though, right? I'm not being fucked up.
Fuck, we are speed running incel references this morning. It's just fucking WWE, Street Fighter, Ghost in the Shell, Godzilla, King Kong.
Yeah, we're dudes.
well, I mean,
we're hanging out.
Skull Island is where King Kong was hanging out from.
Fuck, is that not Africa? I thought they got him on a boat and brought him
yeah, they
over
get
to
him on a
him.
boat, but I don't know if he's.
Am I
off
just
the
reading
coast
into
of
this? Because
Africa.
it's like they brought him from a boat to America unpaid? And I'm like, well, clearly this is where he's coming from.
Yeah.
Jesus.
No,
Am
I
I just
thought-
reading into this?
I thought King Kong was like kind of the Pacific. Was where I thought King
The
Kong came
Pacific?
from. Like I thought it was sort of like Indonesia sort of area.
Oh, am I going to have to edit all this? Are we going to have to edit all this out?
We might
Am I
just
gonna
have to
in lots
start
of
again,
trouble?
I think.
Oh, really? So the wrestling stuff with Champ I thought was really fun.
Yeah. That was I was taking it too far. Well, I was happy to kind of dwell on the wrestling stuff. We're in King Kong territory already.
The island is located in the Indian Ocean.
Indian Ocean.
Indian
That's
Ocean.
pretty good. I'm pretty good.
That's not the Pacific. Fuck it.
That's not the Pacific fucking. It's the other side. Indian's the other side.
It's pretty close.
What?
It's certainly not Atlantic. All right.
But like Atlantic down is the Indian Ocean. Like Pacific is like this side of Australia and the Indian's the other side of Australia.
They would touch, wouldn't they? The Pacific and the Indian?
Well, they all touch.
Like,
Oh, wait, hold
not
on.
true.
Sorry, no. Tom's right. On
yeah.
Wikipedia, it says the island is located in the South Pacific.
Oh God, what have I done?
South Pacific.
All right.
Sorry, apologies to Tom.
Thank you.
And
There's the clip.
I don't even know who I'm apologizing to, but I feel like I'm in trouble here.
To the African people.
Oh yeah,
Plenty to share.
Fuck, is it Wednesday? I forgot to do Floggy Leaks yesterday.
Yeah,
a
I've got to
fucking
post a
dog,
clip
dude.
on Monday.
You know, Julian Assange hangs out for it every week. He's actually where we get the information from. Hey, Julian, what happened in the group chat this week? And he's like, well,
He's back in Australia now, right?
I believe so.
Yeah.
He's been extradited.
What's he up to?
Just chilling.
Get him on.
Get Assange.
Get him on the cabin.
Free Assange. Trap Assange in the cabin for about an hour. I can have some yarns.
Wouldn't that be a great little coup to have as a guest?
Get Assange in. What would he tell you? Just like that. And about the Ecuadorian embassy. What was level 2 like?
And then he'd leak what really happened in the coup.
Things seem to get a bit gross in there in the embassy. Were you washing every day? You'd be like, oh boys.
There's a shower in the embassy. I think it's like a house.
You hear there was whole news stories about like how he was like he'd gone feral and like he wasn't like cleaning up after himself.
What?
When he was living in the embassy. Do you not read the news, you fuckheads?
Look, apparently not. I thought I did.
He went feral.
He went feral. Assange went feral. He was previously domesticated, and then he went feral again.
Julian Assange's washing routine, aka the news.
Washy leaks?
What are you're googling this now, eh?
He's getting on
Find
top of
out what Julian Assange was like in the embassy.
I just can't believe this is actually news. I believe this is the American media. It's a beat up. He was actually well washed the whole time.
Yeah.
Assange doesn't use deodorant, then sits in a car with other people for a long time.
Julian Assange's lawyer has accused Ecuador of making outrageous claims about his actions in their embassy. Jennifer Robinson said allegations of Assange's gross behaviour, including that he smeared the walls with feces, were fabricated. as a pretext to force him out. But apparently he'd gone feral. It was like, not cleaning after himself, not washing, and like rubbing shit on the walls.
Right, so he forced his way out of the Ecuadorian embassy. He got kicked out.
Such a spectrum from not cleaning up after yourself to smearing shit on the walls. Like he left bowls in the sink. He didn't clean up the pots.
The
amount of times Mary's been like, you left your shoes out and you spilled shit on the wall. You don't care about this house at all.
He had to be reminded to flush the toilet, left dirty underwear in the lavatory, did not clean dishes, and left the cooker on. This is stuff that I get in trouble for quite regularly.
This is pretty gentle.
But he's in an embassy for 7 years. Come on. But anyway, so you never heard about Assange being gross in the embassy?
I never heard about Assange being gross in the embassy.
You guys need to have more fingers on pulses.
That's what I've heard. The best doctors can do 10 pulses at the same time. 1 finger per pulse.
When it comes to weird shit, I'm reading all of it. I'm clicking on those stories.
Obviously.
Yeah.
You've been diagnosed by a doctor that you will do that. And it's like, you'll never believe what Julian Assange is up to in the embassy. And Hammer's like, click. RBA makes a call on interest rates. And Hammer's like, boring, snooze fest. Is there shit on the walls? I don't care.
Yeah, how did that hot chick afford her fourth house? I need to know.
Australia's premier real estate agent makes gross claim. And it owns 130 properties. I think our clients will be proud we're practicing what we preach. It's like being cunts. Yeah, pretty much.
I was watching Celebrity Deal or No Deal last night because life's going great.
That's a bleak sentence.
And it was this chick, and they're all playing for charity. Can we
ask who the celebrities were?
I don't know.
Yeah, okay.
Why would you know? They're on Deal or No Deal. It's not going great.
Celebrity.
Yeah. Hammer's like, who books that? Can I get on there?
I can be on there.
Hey, can I play for myself? Yeah. I don't know if you've heard, but my agent just took all my cash.
Yeah.
I need this.
So, Andrew, what charity are you playing for? The Andrew Hamilton Freedom Fund? They're doing some great work.
There's this great charity called Brooklyn Crispy. It's a non-for-profit. Grant Denyer, I need this. Is he still the host?
Yeah, he sure is. And
okay, go.
It was just like, because they were playing for charity, just the amount of risk this woman was willing to take. Where it's like she's got the $100,000 briefcase, and then it's like $1, $100, $1,000, and she's like, let's let it ride. It's like, who needs that 30 grand? Let's see what we could get.
Yeah, it's much easier to gamble when it's not your money.
Yeah,
that's what I've found.
Yeah, I hit Junkyard. We don't bother finishing a joke. We just like reference, move on.
Junkyard's like, this YouTube channel does sound like a good idea. Let it ride, Grant. Let it ride.
That's why like people have buyers agents that go to auctions for them now because, like, when you can get swept up in the competitive nature of it. Right, I think I'd be like, this is my budget. I can only spend like fucking $1 million, 800 grand. This is in fictional money. I don't have any real money.
Fictional money you want on fictional pokies
with fictional property. We're playing Monopoly.
But then some guy would outbid you by like 20 grand. And I'd be like, fuck that guy. Like, this guy's a piece of shit. Like, he's not taking my house. Like, how much? You've got no more money. The bank's approved 800. You're up to 900.
I'd like to up my bid by 20 grand and call this guy a piece of shit. I just want that on the record. There's no record here, Mr. Hamilton. I don't care. I just want it known.
Okay. 850, you're a fuckhead. 850, you're a fuckhead. 850, you're a fuckhead. And sold. He can't afford it.
To this dumb cunt who overspent, ladies and gentlemen. But Tom, you've auctioned?
Yes. We've had, I did an auction very, very early on that just went in and the opening bid was above my max.
See?
Where you're just like,
fuck them out in the market.
Was Hammer your buyer's agent being like, fuck you, dog? I'm in.
We'll find the money.
Don't worry, Tom. I've got a lot of money.
I was there prodding him in the back, like just to try to make him raise the
Stop
paddle.
being a little bitch, Tom.
Come on.
This is why people call you a bitch on the podcast. Just bid, dude.
Bid, you pussy. What are you?
Little bitch spelt BIDTH. Wait, BIDCH. Shit.
That's how it still works.
Bidic.
Bidic.
Yeah.
He's an Australian footballer from Croatia.
But that must happen to so many people. You rock up, you got this like big dream, you're like, okay, we've approved, we're in the game, and then first bid.
It was actually quite, because you're right, first bid, it was frustrating, but you never got in the position of being, I might be in here. So that was almost a relief. But I watched these two couples go back and forth, where I'm getting, you know how like an auction, it slows, and it's like, 851,000. Do I have 852? It's gone once, going to... 8:52, all right. And it was like really, really crawling. And then one like finally gave up, and it just looked like it's certain that these two guys would get, this couple was getting it. And they were like, all right, and going once, going twice. And the guy in the back in a white linen suit wearing a Rolex was just like, 8:55. and they were like conferring, oh, 8:56, 8:57. And this guy was like, I'm getting the fucking house. You know, he was just like, you guys can talk about it as much as you want. I'm getting it.
I think the one thing that makes it even worse is when there's the rich guy, there's the guy at the back, but they're on the phone to someone who's like doesn't even show up to the fucking auction.
Oh yeah.
Dude, I don't have time for this. I'm at a significantly more important auction. Yeah. This is my backup option.
Yeah.
That's it. When you lose to someone who's not even fucking there.
And Tom, how much did your dad end up paying for the property?
No, it is pretty funny to be like, if you just had enough money, you could just spend your weekends at one bedroom apartments crushing millennials' dreams.
I think some people know that and do it.
Yeah.
This isn't actually that great an investment, but fuck me, look at their faces.
Yeah.
And then when they're walking off, just like, suck shit, you dog.
Yeah, your tears are the real capital gains.
Now, if you guys could help me put my home into Google Maps. It's funny because like Australia is the only country that does the auction thing, right? And it's like very.
Are we?
What?
I like on a regular basis, yeah.
Are we?
Well, like most just go straight to
America.
market.
It's just offers.
Yeah,
Just
okay.
put an offer. Like same with the UK, just put an offer. Like, but like not with everyone else standing there. Just go like they're like, this is the property, this is the kind of the figure they're looking for, and then you make an offer, and they can accept or not accept it.
Yeah.
Like even with rentals in London, you could be like, yeah, we'll take it, but we want a new couch or whatever. Like you kind of have some agency.
I used to do the PR for one of Australia's like biggest real estate agents, and he's one of the only guys in the country that sells the house and also runs the auction himself. He's the auctioneer. Normally, it's a separate person.
So he's like a guy who has a comedy room, but also MCs.
Yeah, exactly.
I love this guy.
And so he'd be talking to all the people who were like interested in buying the house through the week, right? And so then on the day he's running the auction, and he'd be like, "Steve, we were talking yesterday. I know you've got more money, mate. Come on." And so like, he would know what buttons to press as well to get him to bid more.
That's good.
So yeah, that's what I think I would
like
get into if I was fucking
like an MC who already has the details for crowd work.
So
what do you do as a computer scientist?
Would
You
you guys
big
meet? I know you got a
virgin.
crazy story. Come on.
And the ex-wife, they're still looking for her. Interesting. But you know where she is, don't you, Steve? And you told the police, which is why you got it on parole. Call back to last week.
That's good. If there was some kind of true crime stand-up comedy crossover, one of these people killed their wife. Can we find out which one? How long you been together? 3 weeks? Ooh, not looking good.
Blonde, mid-30s, just his type. Don't suppose you're a jogger, perchance.
Poo jogger?
I was going jogger there.
Yeah,
I was
sure.
just trying to do that. But yeah, no, the auction thing I find really crazy. Like it's kind of normalized here, but it seems fucked, right? It seems like a way to drive the price up artificially, and we've just all kind of copped it because like Australians love gambling.
Yeah, it's crazy what you're allowed to get away with. That thing about reserve price versus guide price, where you like, I think there's a law about how much higher you can set your reserve price than the guide price. But it is that thing of like, you advertise at a certain rate, and you're like, no, we wouldn't even dream of taking that money. Like we want at least another 100K on top of that.
But can't they, even if you hit that, can't they still say nah?
I don't know.
I think they can refuse to exchange, just at any point. Like, actually, nah.
Yeah.
But then they have to pay for the cost of the auction and everything. I mean, this is quite dry conversation.
But this is a Sydney podcast. People fucking love this. This is exactly what they want. Let's talk about what schools we went to again.
All the floggers from Red Australia, be like, I think we're priced out of this conversation.
Priced out of the
This is
flog
like comedy
market.
property podcast. That's
Flog cabin. You know, it's an actual cabin. We want to make it very clear. We're trying to buy a cabin.
Yeah, we just like look like real estate agents more and more each episode. They start wearing suits with their hair back.
And this episode of Flog Cabin is brought to you by the Real Estate Institute of New South Wales.
Welcome to another episode of FL Cabin, Australia's favourite realtor. Well, Hammer, Tom and I.
I was like, gay white.
Well, I can't believe this is a segue stitch. But here we are.
Gay white.
Tom, it fucking is. Remember the show Bella on the weekend?
Yeah. Wow, yeah, that is unbelievable.
This is actually nuts.
Talk to me.
We connected these dots.
Segue.
This is like people tunneling between Dover and France. They found each other underneath the channel.
Yeah.
We fucking did it.
Somehow
We're
you
here.
kind of like cold read your way to where we were going.
Do I hear
Kind
gay
of
white?
John Edwards.
Is there a gay white in the room? Maybe a relative, maybe a grandparent. I'm just hearing a gay white energy. Maybe 5 of them telling straight men how to dress from the 90s. I don't know.
I'm getting a word. It starts with F. It's a F-F-A.
And I'm getting a race that you guys all are. I think I've never seen like a black guy in the John Edwards crowd. It was only the whites being like, I think this guy's spiritual. I think he's going to find grandma.
An all-black crowd in a John Edwards special would, I think, actually be really entertaining.
That'd be amazing. They're doing
Be a whole
like
bunch of sassy people like calling him out on his bullshit, though, wouldn't it?
I was picturing more just like black people react to magic.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, my grandmother is here. Oh!
Yeah, just the amount of time it takes someone to sit back down after a correct prediction.
He only gets through one person.
John, that is unbelievable. Oh! It's like they stand up, they're walking out, they're coming back in.
So we're going to segue.
Sure
Yeah, after
do.
that risky portion. A risky portion of the pod. Today's all high risk. It's a tightrope walk. But no, so we did the show in Bellingen, Hammer.
Bello.
Bello, absolutely one of my favorites
love
every
Bello.
single time.
That was one of the best shows I've ever done in my life, opening for you in Bello last year.
Dude, so good.
On the surface, just like for what Bello is known for, I feel like you should hate Bello.
like me.
Yeah.
Not Hammer.
No, you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I do. Like...
There was a lot of people on mushrooms at
Yeah.
and show last year.
I think there were again this year. There was one lady openly eating cheesels that she brought herself. I don't think they were available at the bar at the show. She just rocked in like half an hour late with cheesels.
There's a bit of a noisy crunch to them as well.
There was actually quite a nice room acoustically, so there was no crunch. There was just like clear dust.
Did you have
She was
them-
like doing some finger sucking.
Did she have them on all 5 fingers like wedding rings? Or she's just like,
I can only hope so. She was like, give me an applause break. Oh no, my food, my snacks.
the dust all over the lap.
Yeah. But no, yeah, you're right, because like what, Bellingen as a town, hippie?
Cashed up hippies.
Are they cashed up? I think that there is a cashed up element that moved from Sydney. And then there's an element who moved from Byron because Byron got too commercial.
Yep.
You know? But yeah, it's like it's kind of nature, mushrooms, and as we found out on the weekend, Tom, dogging and swinging.
Dogging. Oh, yeah, I forgot about the dogging part. Yeah.
Isn't dogging when you go to like a public bathroom or like public park and just like fuck randoms?
My understanding is park, yes, because
Dogs love parks.
When I was in the UK, that was like a thing. Is that joke about dogging the boys? Like, as in like you dogging the boys, in like you just going home, hanging out with your mate, like hanging out with your wife instead of your mates. And all the British people are like, dude, that is not what dogging means. Like, if you're dogging the boys, you're going down to Clapham Common and waiting for someone to jerk you off or fuck you in the ass.
So is this so you reckon dogging is happening in Bellingen? And
I don't reckon.
Yeah.
I was told explicitly by many people.
And it's just
Very important to clarify after I don't reckon. I have proof.
I got told. So it's what? Just a bunch of homosexual men bumming each other in a park.
I feel like this was hetero dogging.
What?
You sound so disappointed.
Yeah.
What are we doing? What are we doing here? Let's go.
Appropriating
Let's
gay
go
culture.
dog someone in Bellingen.
I was trying to just fuck some dude in Belgium. This chick turned up. Horrible evening. Ruined everything.
You see a woman walk out of a glory hole cubicle? It's very disappointing. Wait, this whole time?
This is.
It was very difficult to find the clit through the hole.
This is an urban myth. You reckon
the
there's
clit through
chicks? There's chicks going to public parks and getting pounded in Bellingen. That's
I-
what you're saying.
Look, we didn't check. We didn't go to the park, despite Tom's insistence. Despite Tom being like, Dan, I just want an experience. We've been working together for a long time.
I just wanted to throw the frisbee at night. That's all I wanted.
All right. Well, we need to start Bello Watch. We need to be checking this park. We need to confirm this rumor.
I like that somehow we've become more perverted than them. I don't want to join it. I just want to watch to see if it happens every night until there's proof. A UFO, an unidentified fucking object.
We can set up just a couple of night vision cameras. We don't even have to be there. Just with like some kind of motion sensor.
Okay.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
And like it'll be like day 29. We're like, my God, there's been movement at 3 in the morning.
I'm just picturing like
What time does this happen?
Well, the pub closes at 11:30. So I'm thinking about 11:35.
You reckon more people are just like they're having a couple of shandies and then like they're like, oh, I could go home or I could just like go get spit roasted in the local park.
I like that you've gone shandy because just like if I'm going to take a stiff dick, I want a soft drink. But yeah, I mean, look, that definitely seemed to be the implication because we were staying at a guest house in Bellingen due to a booking error from me. I thought it was like,
Yeah, what do you
we
think
stayed
when
in
you
the
hear a
lodge?
guest house? What do you think a guest house is going to be?
Yeah.
Usually I would imagine it's something like almost as shit as like a hostel. Like it's like
Ding, ding, ding.
Damn it.
Nailed it.
I could have used you while looking through hotels.com because I thought guest house, I thought it was going to be, remember the place we stayed outside Coffs, or it was like kind of like a cabin? I thought it was going to be that thing because it was like that configuration of beds, double bed, single bed, 2 bunks.
now guest house sounds like shit and cheap.
Sure was.
Not as cheap as I would have liked.
Check.
For what we got. But yeah, so we turn up and I'm like, oh, this is kind of like a hostel, but like entirely chicks, right?
Yeah,
But
more
like
or
not
less.
young women.
And then, there were some young women, and it was a young family as well. Did you see that?
I didn't see the young
It was a
family.
young family. The first room they showed us to was just a double bed.
Yeah, they're like, this is you guys. And I think you've misinterpreted. I know Tom's got a very neat appearance, but no.
Yeah, no, we'll be taking this to the park. Thank you.
There's too many women in this goddamn park. Looking for sex.
You think you want to play a home game? I'm in Belgium to play an away game champion.
Yeah, we've been here before. We know what goes on. All right, we're big fans.
All right, Tom, get out the AstroTurf. But yeah, so we're like, there's clearly been a booking area. Here's a picture of the room with 4 separate beds in it. I would like one of the separate beds because you're initially coming. In this context, a weird verb, but you're initially coming, and I was going to put you in the bunks.
It's a shame I wasn't there to squeeze it in this double bed with you two guys.
Would have been a great episode.
Fun we could have had.
I think we would have recorded. I'm going to hit record, see what happens.
It's 11:35. We're now recording on the move because Hamo's insisted we go to the local park
Not to join in, just with the
for
camera.
dog watch.
Dog watch.
To be fair, his last drink was more beer than lemonade. They don't know how to make a shandy in this
Three
place.
of us in a bush at night, just like, shh, I can hear someone.
I mean, we have been teasing the floggers for over a year now that this might be the one where someone gets jerked off. I think the bed episode is a good shout.
You'd hope so. You got to do that behind the paywall.
And obviously the twist is not by either of us.
Yeah.
Just some random dude in the park.
Maybe you could watch it behind the paywall because there's a glory hole in the paywall.
All right, guys, the Flog Tron is moving across to OnlyFans. We got an Only Flogs. It's happening.
Only flogs.
But yeah, so like they were like, you stay in this guest house because I was like, I've made a mistake. We're in the guest house, and they're like, oh, sucked in. And then they were like, have you asked about the naked wall? And I'm like, well, no. And they're like, you got to ask about the naked wall. And I'm like, I sure don't want to. And yeah,
You don't want to ask about the naked wall?
I don't really want to know about the naked wall.
I absolutely do.
I'm already sharing a bathroom with a bunch of, future hippie women and young families, apparently. I don't want to ask about the naked wall.
Well, I mean, they're saying sucked in. You could be getting sucked off. You don't want to be curious about like what the options are at the guest house.
We bringing that in as a reverse phrase. Man, it was so good. Oh, dude, sucked off.
Sucked off.
Sounds like a great day.
What sucked off is the opposite of sucked in.
Yeah.
That's good.
It's kind of like soft on, hard on.
Yeah.
The naked wall. The mind boggles.
Well, I mean, I can imagine what it might be.
But did we ever get any clarity what the naked wall actually was? You were asking some people about it.
Oh, I mean, yeah.
You were asking them to put it in your phone. GPS, could
Just
you
put it on Google Maps,
could
would
you
you?
drop a pin for me, please? Because I'm going to drop a pin there later.
So
The reviews for the naked wall were 5 stars in its defense.
Is it just is it a wall where there's like a Polaroid camera? You take a photo of yourself naked, you put it on the wall. Is it a glory hole? Is it?
It seemed to be like some kind of dogging meetup. So I'm picturing a wall with slats, space between the slats, and by slats I mean Michael Slater's there. He's hanging out. He's off the rails again.
Michael Slater, Kelly Slater, Billy Slater, they're all there.
just with their ass cheeks pressed up on the slats.
Kelly Slater, we don't love a pipe.
Take your pick.
You got to guess. Cricketer, surfer, rugby league legend. Who is it?
Future immortal.
Taste test. Which Slater is it? It's like Letterman. Will it slats? Will it float? We got that. But yeah, anyway, so there's a naked wall, which seemed to be just a dogging meetup. That's what it seemed to be, Tom, right?
Wait, sorry, the naked wall is connected to the guest house?
I don't know.
Well, it seemed to be associated with the guest house somehow.
No, you didn't. I thought you clarified this, but because I've just Googled the nude wall, and it's just a wall of naked people posted on it.
In Bellingen?
In Bellingen.
See,
The nude wall Bellingen. This is 2007. It's got quite a history.
Oh.
that was my first guess, that it was just like you take a photo of yourself naked, put on the wall.
There are these entire walls of nude photos at the hostel. They are not nude, but everyone has their rated R bits covered up.
Oh.
Oh, this is so much less interesting. So do we know anything about dogging at Bellingen? Who are those guys?
You guys have been sold down the river with a bunch of absolute trash talk from the locals trying to make the place sound more interesting than it is. It's just a bunch of smelly, hairy armpit hippies on too many bloody mushrooms that thankfully come to your shows, and they're great audiences, but there's no...
Are you saying that, like, those guys we fucked in the park were just people from the show who found a loophole to get inside our holes?
It's not gay. It's what we do here. It's called dogging.
You guys are dog guys, right?
You a dog guy or a cat guy?
Part of the crew, don't you?
Talking about verbs?
So wait, it's at the hostel. There's a hostel. We weren't in the hostel.
No, I think it was at the guest. I think they're talking about the guest house
And there was just a naked wall that we missed.
that we missed entirely because we kept looking for the dogging.
We were so tired by the end of all that dogging.
Look, this is why you needed me there. I'm a more inquisitive soul. I would have tracked down the naked wall. I would have created some kind of surveillance operation around the dogging park, and we would have gotten to the bottom of all this stuff.
Yeah, I mean, look, to be fair, I think you're right.
We would have interviewed someone mid-dog on the dog cabin.
on the dog cabin.
Welcome back to the OGs. Try not to come challenge. What do you call a dog? Funniest dogging joke ever? Question mark.
50 million views.
Well, I can't believe we've been had. So it was at the guest house. There was a naked wall and we didn't see it?
I think so.
Where was it?
And it was just
know.
printouts from like fucking nerdy mags and stuff like that. It's so vanilla.
I thought it was like guests that had taken naked photos and put them up.
No, it looks like just...
Is it
looks
pro?
Like, it looked like stuff from magazines. Just
Oh.
Anyway.
Oh, jeez. Well, look, there were some floggers in Bellingen, I believe. So any Bello floggers, do let us know if we've completely missed the mark
Yep.
on this one.
Help us with the myth busting.
But look, that isn't even the story, to be fair.
Okay, we're still on.
Yeah.
Okay, we're not...
I can't believe we took that long a walk to get here. But yeah, because like at the end of so the pub's closing. And by the way, Tom, can we appreciate the ancient security guard at the pub?
Oh yeah, your friend Paige had a story about that. Remember, she was saying.
What was she saying?
Well, apparently she was with a friend, and they were going through. Her friend was showing her photos of like her with her boobs out,
Oh yes.
and this guy, like this security guard, who was like
what, like literally 70?
at least looked 70. He might have been 50, but lived a hard life.
I think he's at least 60s.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, potentially 70s.
Looks super creepy.
No, and not convincing as a security guard.
Well, that was the thing. I'm like, what happens?
Yeah.
Like, if there's trouble. But we asked that, and then Paige was saying there was trouble at one point, and then he just kind of walked over to the person, put like his belly on them. It was like, is there a problem here tonight, fellas? And they were like, oh, nah. Just back down immediately.
Yeah.
Just
So,
from the
like-
sheer human contact with an old fella.
So either like he's seen some stuff, and when you look him in the eye, you're like, oh shit, this guy's actually an alpha dog, even though he's old. Or you're just like, this is like there's no glory for me in beating up this guy. This is it's a mercy thing.
I think that's absolutely it. The only glory in Bellingen is to be found in a hole.
At the wall. Yeah, at the park. But she was saying that he had walked past, seen her on the phone with the boobs out, and like had a good look, and then walked away and then come back and just started telling them about how he went on a cruise and cheated on his wife.
Yeah, went on a swingers cruise.
Insane chat.
Swingers cruise, yeah.
Yeah, it was just like, yeah, it was great. I fucked heaps of people who hurt my wife. It was awesome.
It's kind of the whole thing.
Yeah, it's definitely the vibe in Bellingen. So apparently it is a big swingers town.
Apparently, it's the polyamory capital of Australia.
Okay, all right.
But it actually shares that title with 3 other towns.
This is where I was.
That's good.
The amount of towns I went to on my regional tour that told me they were the meth capital, and I'm like, come on, there can't be 4 meth capitals of Australia.
I don't know. I mean, meth is a pretty it moves around. I reckon it's just like making its way.
But who's controlling?
Nomadic was the word I was looking for.
Who's controlling the rankings? So, like, how do we know that this is the polyamory capital of Australia? Other than they just
Well, clearly you've got your camera set up. You can just get one of those clickers like a security guard has at a club. Just being like, that's one. That's another one.
Well, I had to be like, hold on, are you married or?
Let me see those rings. Those rings.
Yep, they don't match. All right, very good. Tick.
Keep going. But yeah, so we were going to leave, and then this guy comes up. I was trying to figure out how this happened, Tom, because we were kind of sitting to the side, and then like we had one more beer, and like people started coming up at the show. It's a small town, so people are just like, "Hey, great show," blah blah. And the guy comes big energy on this fella, loud shirt, short sleeves, coming in confident, cream pants, and he's just like, what was his opener?
I don't remember.
Because it was like he got a photo.
He said, "You want to fuck my wife?"
Well,
not in so many words.
Yeah. So he kind of comes up. He's like, great show. Anyway, this is my wife. Fucking how hot's my wife? Look at her.
No, while she's taking the photo.
Oh, yeah.
He asked her to take the photo of the 3 of us, and he goes, how hot's my fucking wife? And then he's like, lift your skirt up.
This is great.
And she just says nothing.
Yeah.
I'm polyamorous right now.
Big polyamorous energy. Yeah. It's like, lift your skirt up. And Tom and I are like, what is going on? She's laughing, having a good time. And then he goes, white and just keeps.
I don't know if you're going to drop it here.
I'll get Josh to edit that out. But like the word, he'll bleep it. But like, what did he say after that? It was like something else. Oh, her name's Naomi. You know what that is backwards?
I'm owned, yeah.
No, it's like, yeah, dude, I've watched Van Wilder. Yeah. Like, it is like, yeah, but it's actually a joke. She's more of a screamer. Have a good night, lads. And like, walks off.
We'll see you in the park.
No, because remember, he's like, didn't his father-in-law like call him one day to tell him?
Yes. Oh, I forgot about that. He's like, yeah, my father-in-law called me up one day. Her name's Naomi. You know what that is backwards? Yeah. I'm like, Jesus
She's like
Christ.
31 by this stage.
Yeah, wow. All right.
And he definitely seemed a bit older than her, I reckon.
So this guy implied that you guys are gay because what, you didn't like,
well,
you weren't excited to see her ass.
I thought we couldn't tell.
She didn't lift up the skirt.
Yeah, she did.
She didn't.
Oh, okay.
So it kind of felt like he was calling her. I think he was just keen to say something controversial and just fell out of him.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe. But like the thing was like we were trying to figure this out, Hamo, and you're a far more assertive man than either of us. Do you think he was kind of like, how hot's my wife? Do you want to fuck my wife while I sit in the cuck chair and watch?
Well,
do you think that was the kind of thing that he was trying to get going?
If you weren't already making the point that it's the polyamorous capital of Australia, then like I'd be like, maybe he's just like a drunk weirdo that like loves to like have people appreciate that he's got a hot wife, right? Otherwise, it's just like bragging.
That is a reasonable explanation.
Yeah. It could be that, but when it's in Bellingen, the polyamorous capital of Australia, there's a fair bit of it. Just gonna be like, is this guy wanting me to plow his wife?
Well, this is what Tom and I were trying to figure out because we didn't know if we were being rude.
Well, no, I think it's fair.
Because neither of us did.
When in Rome, they'll say you should fuck his wife, but you should at least ask if that's what he's angling for.
But what if he wants to sit in the cuck chair? Are we cool with that?
Well, you'd have to have a look at the chair, I think.
It is in the chair. We're not in the chair.
No, but do you think, you don't want it to be too upright? You want it to be quite a relaxed cuck chair?
For who? Why are you concerned about?
I don't want this guy too animated during like what I'm doing. I want him to be like just relaxed, not really involved. If he's right up there, leaning forward and wanking, I'm like, this is too much for me.
What if it's a rocking chair? What if he's in and out?
Oh, okay.
Like, I'm close. I'm far away. I'm close. I'm far away.
I think I can live with that.
I would find jerking off in a rocking chair would give me some kind of motion sickness.
You get seasick?
Wait, you know what I mean? Because you're kind of rocking. I think I'd lose all my rhythm.
Yeah. It's what
about it's like waterbeds? I'm not sure if I'm fully on board with sex in a waterbed.
Have you ever had sex on a waterbed? I don't think I've ever slept on a waterbed.
I've slept on one and I didn't love it.
As a child, I remember having like a distinct memory thinking waterbeds are probably the coolest thing ever.
Totally.
Yeah, I was like, this is the pinnacle of luxury.
My uncle had one.
Really?
And I thought it was amazing. You jump on it and you'd be like, "Way, whoa!" But like,
And how did you find having sex on it?
Discreet.
It was awesome, but I couldn't tell anyone.
but
And no one could hear because there were no springs. It's a waterbed.
I roll around a bit in my sleep, tossing and turning, and I feel like I would just be like, it would be like I'm on the seven seas.
Uh-huh.
You know?
Okay.
Too many waves.
Think you still get a waterbed? Is that still around?
I think so.
I feel like it's just like certain like a clapping lamp. I'm just like, can you still get that?
Yeah, big 80s stuff, right?
It was.
Yeah.
But like the clapper, I would love to get the clapper.
Yeah. I don't know if I've ever seen
What
one
is a clapper?
in the
You know what a
flesh.
clapper is? It's like
I know what the clap is, but I don't know what. No.
well, the clapper is like you turn the lamp on and off by clapping.
Oh, yep.
But apparently, I didn't know this as a kid. I thought it was like a lamp with that feature built in. But I think it's actually something you plug into the circuit, like as in into the socket in the wall, and then you plug the lamp into that, and it turns anything into a clapper.
I thought it was.
Yeah.
I thought it was lamp built in myself.
Yes, I thought
go.
that.
Good stuff.
We're laughing and learning.
Anything more from Bellingen?
No, I mean that was pretty much it.
Yeah. Was that not enough for you? The dogging wall and the polyamory offer?
But all this stuff
How
is
hot's
just
my wife?
all this stuff is mostly conjecture. It's like conspiracy theory stuff that you guys have not confirmed at all.
Oh, I'm sorry. Are we doing footnotes on this week's episode of Flog Cabin? Are we?
Yeah, sorry, Julian. You want to leak the documents?
How are we going to get Julian Assange on the podcast if we're not checking
I
our
feel
sources?
like there needs to be a part 2 where we actually we get to the bottom of all this stuff. We need to go and we need to see a couple of guys in cuck chairs. We need to have sex with a few people's wives just to confirm this stuff, and then we also have to possibly have heterosexual or gay sex in a park.
Honey, it's
What,
not
like
cheating.
us?
It's journalism.
It's for the pot.
Yeah.
Mary, you love the pot.
Look at the listeners we had this week.
I can't believe I found out you cheated on me on a podcast. Behind a paywall, no less.
You know what's the
I
best
told
part
you not
about
to
having
subscribe.
the best part about having polyamorous fans of the podcast is they listen separately. If we get a fan, they tell their partner. That's 6 new fans. Should we do a pilot ad?
Yeah, I guess.
We got one?
Oh, okay. I've got one.
go.
Tom wrote one.
I wrote one.
He's a good guy.
There we
That
go.
was it for me. That's nice. I was trying to. Well, Hammer, the thing with you were supposed to come to Bellingen. You were supposed to come.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, the invite. We're supposed to do a big flog double.
Yeah. Well, we're doing that this weekend.
Yeah, we'll do
Let's hope that Evoca can
Not
deliver
this
on-
weekend. This episode is coming out way
It's
after
not
this weekend.
No, it was the other. It was just.
We're doing it again.
Can't wait to.
We're returning. The demand was so
Why don't we
huge.
talk about all the crazy shit that happened in Evoca that we just where we were a few weeks ago.
Josh, I'm so sorry.
Does it have to
This
be?
episode's a lot of work for you.
Does it have to be a cuck chair? Because
Well,
in Belgium
I-
we could have had the cuck bunk.
Okay.
Cuck bunk.
Top or bottom?
Top or bottom,
We
different
can
angles.
have double cocks. We can stack them.
double cuck.
We can stack these cocks.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. They don't really investigate cuck comfort enough. It's always
Cuck comfort.
it could be something other than the chair.
Yeah.
Well, I was actually thinking about that. Do you think there's a cuck chair on the market where it's quite low but also quite breathable and comfortable and non-sticky?
Can we make a video,
vinyl?
an infomercial for a cuck chair?
Oh,
That could be funny.
that would be funny.
I think the main element of a cuck chair is that it's just in the corner of the room facing the bed with a little bit of a lean to it so they can get proper comfortable. Perhaps the base is at a bit of an angle so them to get into a comfortable wank rhythm.
Sure.
That's it.
I think there should be a tissue box embedded in one of the arms.
Okay. Now we
just pull out of.
Like a drink holder?
Yeah, exactly. Like a cup holder.
Okay.
Cuck holder.
Cuckold. Well, that's what we call the chair. Obviously.
Vibrate, maybe like a vibrating bass, maybe to like tickle the balls.
Well, I don't think they want to feel that good, right? There's supposed to be a level of like
Also,
shame.
should it be uncomfortable?
Isn't it to feel good while they're getting joy out of watching their like partner getting plowed?
Or is it the shame of being outmanned by another person? Is that the thing?
I think it's probably a bit of both. I
We're deep
think it's
in-
probably a mix. Do you reckon the cuck chair, would you want like an arm strap? So you can have the option to tie them down.
Oh.
You'll watch this, you pathetic.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I reckon that's not the worst idea.
Yeah.
All right, we're deep in cuck psychology here.
If we have any cucks listening, get in touch.
Yeah, via email, you little bitch.
Tell your wife. She'll pass
Actually,
it on.
we really need some more people dialing on the phone of Flog.
Yeah.
So, like,
We're going to
really, if
properly promote the FOMO flog later. We'll
Okay.
get that
But,
sorted.
like,
It'll be in the link the link tree from now on.
But just to reiterate, if there are any cucks and you want to dial in, we would love that.
Yes.
Yeah, or if you'd prefer, like, get a black guy to dial in for you.
Yeah. All right. Let's go. Pilot Dad.
Oh wait, it locked. It locked. But yeah, I was just thinking like they're getting like a gaming chair. They get like a specific cuck chair. Like, have I ever sat in a cuck chair without realizing?
You definitely have.
Yeah, that's disappointing.
I sat in one last week.
Because I was
in a cuck chair.
I was just thinking about like when you give the sperm sample at the clinic, like it's a very specific chair in the thing. It's like vinyl, you know, it's
Oh.
like easy to clean. And I'm thinking that's probably a vibe on the cuck chair.
Yeah.
All right. The Flog Cabin Podcast brought to you by Pilot until they listen to this episode. We write each other out every week. Tom's written one for me. Here we go. Hey there, floggers. Dan Muggleton here. As a stand-up comedian, the thing that is more important to me than anything else is my fans. When I look out at the crowd and see literally dozens of adoring mugheads, I know deep down I would do absolutely anything to make them happy. So when a die-hard Danatic, fuck. There is a little pronunciation guide here as well.
Well, you could say that.
You fuckhead.
Like fanatic, but for Dans. There we go. Comes up to me after the show, God damn it, and asks me to cuck him in front of his wife. I am all too happy to oblige. But I want to make sure I'm giving that lucky man the best performance that I can, and that's why I use Pilot. Pilot gives this road dog the confidence to raw dog any fan's wife. So no matter whether he's sitting in the front row of a crowd or in the corner of a hotel room masturbating, he's going to go home satisfied. But don't just take my word for it. Take the word of any of the dozens of men who I routinely watch rail my wife. When they are on Pilot, I can tell the difference, no matter which cuck chair I'm sitting on. So what are you waiting for? Go to pilot.com.au today and use the code FLOGGERS20 for $20 off your first order. Pilot, hard made easy. Thanks,
Good
man.
stuff.
Road dog into raw dog.
That was very good.
Yeah.
That's actually like when a comedian goes into OnlyFans.
Road dog, raw dog?
Road dog to raw dog. We did it. We nailed the transish.
Love it.
That was nice. That was good. How about you? You had a thing, I thought.
You had several things.
You had more than one thing.
I had a couple
Do you want to tell us one of the things, or one of your other things watches us?
Well, I told you guys I have come up with Hamo's Law.
Hamo's Law.
Hamo's Law, which is
Yes.
like Murphy's Law.
Okay. What's Murphy's Law?
Well, it's that whatever can go wrong will, isn't it? That's essentially what it is.
Sure.
So I guess when you summarize it like that, Hamo's Law kind of could be Murphy's Law as well. No, but this is related.
When I said it's like Murphy's Law, it's a lot like Murphy's Law.
This is
You're not going to believe how like Murphy's Law it is.
this is Hamo's Law of queuing.
Hamo's Law of queuing.
Yes. Which is, I seem to have, this happens to me quite a lot. I will join a long queue.
I know this feeling. I know where you're going.
And I'll wait for ages. And then when I get to the front of the queue, there'll be no queue behind me.
You're still at the back of the queue.
Uh-huh.
It's the worst.
So you think you're the last to join any queue?
Well, quite often. Not every time, but quite often. And so this happened to me twice in the space of about 15 minutes last week. I went to a bar, hell of a queue. So many people ordering fucking cocktails at rush hour, which fucking does my head in. There needs to be a beer express line. Anyway, waited for ages for these fuckheads. I was like, one guy ordered like 8 pints of Guinness, and I was like, oh, Jesus Christ. So anyway, then I get to the front of the queue. I ordered just a pint of Bolter. It took fucking 20 seconds for this transaction. I turn around. There's no one behind me. I could have rocked up right then and been straight on. And I was like, okay, this is what's happening to me here. And then I went to what was that falafel place that I went to that time?
Jimmy's
Falafel.
Jimmy's Falafel.
Home of the Chamula chicken.
I went there. I had the Chamula chicken again.
Great
but
stuff.
last time I mustn't have had to take a piss. This time I did have to take a piss because I'd had a few pints of Bolter. And
The detail in your storytelling is fucking beautiful.
they only have one unisex bathroom cubicle at that restaurant.
I hate that.
And so I go there, and so there was a queue of like 3 people, and also, this is a little side note. We're going to go down a rabbit hole here. When someone is in a bathroom cubicle, and we can talk about male or female,
Or gender neutral.
how long?
No.
How long does someone get in a bathroom cubicle before you're like, okay, it's definitely a shit? Right?
Anything over 90 seconds.
I think about 90 seconds is fair for a dude. I'd say maybe like slightly longer for a woman.
Pure cubicle, no hand washing facilities. Is that outside?
Great clarification.
Okay. The hand washing facilities was outside.
Yeah, okay. So you'll just all that's in there is the toilet.
It's just all there is the toilet.
Yeah, it's got to be. It's 90 seconds is even like.
Oh, what about a lady on a period sanitary bin situation?
That's true.
That can go longer than 90. I believe.
I have no idea how long that would take. You can tell me anything.
I've never timed Mary. I'd love to.
I'm going to say 90 seconds for a bloke, 2 minutes for a woman.
Okay.
Before I'm like,
You're taking a shit.
What's the bloke doing for 90 seconds?
Maybe the fly doesn't work. Maybe
The fly doesn't work?
Maybe it's like you're a bit slow to the party. I don't know.
Yeah,
maybe
you
it's
might-
like a really long piss. One
Little-
of those like
Little build up.
or maybe one
luxury
of those Austin
piss.
Powers pisses.
You sit down. You sit down. You want to do a little wipe. You're on
All
your
I'm
phone.
saying
You're
is-
replying to a text.
All I'm saying is there's a cutoff period where you're like, I don't care who you are. That you're doing a giant poo.
Sure.
And so there was a woman in there for like 5 minutes, and I'm like, this is what. And she came out. She was a tiny lady. And I was like,
Afterwards, she was.
Should have seen her when she went in.
but anyway, my point is, this took forever, and then I went to the bathroom, took a fucking 30-second piss, came out, no one there, no queue, and I was like, it's happened to me again. This is Hamo's law of queuing.
But for the bathroom, there wasn't a queue. You were just waiting for someone who was already in the bathroom.
No, there was 2 people. There was the one woman in there, then there was 2 other people.
Okay.
Right, so I was a third in queue.
No one behind
It
you.
took me like 10 minutes to get in there, and I'm like, this is insane. And like, it's one unisex cubicle at a restaurant. This is insane.
In
And it was
fairness,
busy.
if I saw a bloke of your size lining up for a cubicle, I'd give it a minute. I'd be like, I don't want to follow that. The bowl and seat are going to be a bit warm. There's going to be a bit
so
of moisture.
you're thinking that people are assuming, even though there's no trough available,
Yeah.
you're thinking, you're assuming I'm going to go in there and take a shit.
Yeah, you just seem like a guy who's going to take a shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I do need to take a shit right now, but yeah, I.
So Hamo's
don't-
law, I like it. You join the queue, no
So
queue
you
behind
think
you.
the reason people like that I'm not having a queue behind me is because I terrify people?
Potentially. I mean, at a bar,
They're like, this guy's going to order 14 beers, 7 Guinnesses, and like 15 cocktails. Let's not even bother queuing.
I actually really like your idea for the bar where it's just kind of like there's a beer
The
line.
beer express queue is fantastic.
Yeah, actually genius.
Like you only get the choice of, let's say, like 3 taps or whatever. It's like, these are your options.
3 taps, bottles from the fridge, fine.
Yeah.
But we're not making fucking cocktails in
No.
this queue.
Yeah, I really like it. And it kind of reminds me of like when they brought in the gender neutral bathroom and they're like, wait a second, why don't we just have a urinal room? Just to get the line moving. I kind of picture that. So it's like drink neutral and then there's piss over here, which is beer. Done.
Yes. Thank
I
you.
like it. How long until we have self-serve bars? Do you think that's going to be a thing? Do you think like a
Well, you press
Woolworths?
a button and it just dispenses.
Yeah.
There is one in Newtown.
I know there's that one, yeah. But like,
but
do you think
it's
they'll ever
the
become
beginning.
a thing where it's just like, look, here's the Carlton's over there, just go fill your own cup or whatever? Or
Well, it's like we're such losers for RSA laws in Australia. I can see that happening in America. Or
that's
something.
interesting. Yeah.
I can see that happening in another country, like in European
yeah.
countries or America. They don't really give a fuck if you just get pissed. They don't care. You can get as drunk as you want. But in Australia, we're such nerds for like showing signs of intoxication. I don't think there'd be ever a situation where you can just top yourself up.
yeah, you can get beers in vending machines in Japan. I think that's sick.
Amazing.
But like, do you want to get rid of the bartender at the bar?
No, but I just like it seems to be the way things are heading. It's like if we can have less people working here, we will.
I feel like there's like somewhat of a little turn back. I don't know.
If I can have a robot that can just pour me a beer, I'm okay with that. I don't really care. But I'm happy for a bartender to make me a cocktail. You know?
What if it's a Japanese robot?
Okay, all right.
Are there other-
they'll probably make a good cocktail.
Are there other ethnicities of robots?
Are they all Japanese?
I thought they're all Japanese.
Every robot's Japanese.
Yeah, are they not? Man, because otherwise I've been addressing them incorrectly.
Hold on. No, America has, they got like Boston Dynamics. They're making those terrifying robots.
I thought they were making Japanese robots.
in America.
Like, you want a good one, right? Yeah. These guys have been making robots for years. They just finally evolved from the cartoon robot.
Musk is making some robots, but yeah, you're right. They're probably also Japanese.
Dude, I saw like this video of a robot learning how to walk down a hill.
That's Musk's robot.
Yeah, and I was like, this is not good.
No, it's all terrifying.
It slips and stabilizes itself.
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, I won't be doing that again.
And then the second time it does it. And I'm like, imagine if humans learnt from their mistakes. We wouldn't need robots.
Well, the Japanese do. And that's why the robots have been able to pick it up so quickly.
Ask anybody, you do have to tell them twice. First time, they're like, probably wasn't us. Second time, like, oh, our bad. No?
Big.
Go on.
No? I thought it was pretty funny.
It was.
Thank you.
Yeah. No, have you seen, I mean, the robot dogs scare the shit out of me. Have you seen those Boston Dynamic robot dogs?
No.
Yeah, well, my problem is like they test these robots by like whacking them with baseball bats and like pushing them over and stuff. And it just feels like when these guys become like have consciousness, they're going to remember.
I mean, I don't know.
abuse.
That's how I was raised, and I haven't held on to any of that anger.
Watch me walk down this hill.
Dad, look at me go. I didn't stumble. Put the bat away.
It just feels like a bad idea. We're abusing these robots. They're going to get their revenge at some point.
I'd prefer people, like, instead of the baseball bat, can we just be emotionally withholding with the robots?
Oh, yeah.
They said we walk down that hill, and I'm like, nah. But your sister walked down it first time. Nailed it. Yeah, it was just weird, like watching it learn, and I was just like, ugh. And then, like, you know how the algorithm, I swear the algorithm kind of feeds you a narrative of information. Like, you click on something, and then like the second thing is kind of like a addendum to that piece, and then you can kind of keep going.
Yeah.
And it was just like the Google CEO being like, once AI can learn to self-analyze, we really need to think about turning it off.
Oh, God.
Like, it was just like, yeah, like we, you know. And the thing is, we never will.
No.
We never will. Like, we're never going to turn it off.
There's someone out there trying to scare old people about where we're at with robots, because my mum showed me this video of these two robots that looked exactly like people.
Kissing. They were dude robots. And they were Muslim.
It
I was like, no!
was two robots that looked exactly
The robot turns
like
off 5 times a day to pray to Mecca.
And they always know where it is because they got an internal compass.
They look exactly like people, and they're ice skating.
I can't refuel my robot till night time. It's Ramadan.
I thought your mum was saying Muslims look exactly like people. I couldn't tell the difference. It was terrifying.
When you remove the burger, like, let's see what's underneath this. What?
Where's Alan Jones when you need him? I'm so underinformed.
What are you saying about your mum?
Yeah.
It was just these two robots that look like people ice skating perfectly. And she's like, isn't this terrifying? How amazing this is? I'm like, Mum, they've just told you that it's robots. It's just people. This is two Russian people ice skating.
Yeah. I know they look like robots, but they're just Russian. You know how they are.
So they're actually far less emotional.
And they don't learn. They do not learn. And on the bright side, we're not worried about them taking over. Yet. Again.
So...
Yeah, sorry, War and Peace was written by a robot. That's why they're so emotionally removed. Oh, boy. I like that. So your mum was just afraid. She was showing a video of two Russian people dancing, and then she's like, they're coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are.
People get sent this stuff
Haven't you
and
seen?
they see the caption and they're like, oh my God, this is terrifying.
If only
so what
the
do you-
Ukraine took this warning seriously.
So were they robots? They're not
They were
robots.
fucking people, man. It's just someone had put a bullshit caption on it. And
What do you mean? Were they
video-
trying to look like
the
robots? at all?
video was like, the future is here. Isn't it terrifying? These robots are ice skating perfectly. And my mum was like, oh my God, it is terrifying. I'm like, it's not real. It's,
Are you sure it's not at least AI or something? Or your
it was
mum
just a video of two Russian people ice skating.
Dude, you should show her a clip of the podcast. It's like, oh my God, the future is here. They've made an Andrew Hamilton robot.
Hambot.
Hambot, Tombot, Mugbot.
So, anyway.
Dude, that's
what I'm
so funny.
saying. People, they could just add bullshit captions to anything and old people will absolutely believe it.
Old people are so easy to trick, bro. Like, my dad actually believes I need money on a regular basis. It's crazy.
So is it just so? It seems like what's happened is that these two Russian ice skaters who do a routine that is a robot-inspired dance. Is that what she's seen?
This was not it.
Cugnard and Fabry?
Are we sure?
Let me have a look.
Just like your mum
I
says.
saw the video. She showed me. It was just two Russian people ice skating.
Is this it? Please, for the love of God.
No, this was not it.
Okay.
No, it wasn't that.
I mean,
It was people. They were not in any way trying to be robots. They were just regularly ice skating.
Okay, because I was picturing your mum seeing someone doing the robot in like the 80s and be like, they're here.
Crazy the technology, wasn't that at all?
Thank God they've only got a passion for dancing. They don't want to take over the floor.
that's so funny. Like the robot Billy Elliot. but I don't want to take over the world. I want to dance.
Again, that does sound like a Russian. Is that the new conspiracy theory? I mean, we talked about the cabin launching conspiracy for many years now. Russians are robots.
Russians are robots.
I believe it.
It's Russians and pigeons.
You know what they call the Iron Curtain, right? They're made of iron. And they don't need curtains.
KG bot? I don't know what the rest of the what does the KG and KGB stand for? Kremlin?
Yeah, I assume
Something Russian.
something Russian. Yeah.
Yeah, good.
Yep. I
Keep
think
that in.
Good stuff.
But thanks for another episode of Flog Cabin.
This is one of our first cabins of 2025.
Well,
We're starting the new year strong.
Wow.
sure.
I think the floggers can agree that, boy, they chilled over the Christmas break.
Yep.
Let's
Let's
come
really,
in relaxed.
Let's really hope
With
nothing
so
of,
many stories, it's hot.
and we're so lucky that nothing of note has happened for the last 2 weeks. It was worth discussing. That we're still talking about things that happened in mid-December because nothing's happened
Nothing's happened.
in 2025.
No, not yet.
Nothing. Not a thing.
Did you wait? So Hamo's law is just that. Is Hamo's law whenever you join a busy queue, no one will join the queue after you. I want to put it out there because I think it's a good concept. I
Yes.
like it as a concept, and that's
exactly
it.
right.
Okay. What about the one where it's like if you ever switch queues, if you have a choice between two queues and you ever switch,
You'll switch to the slower one.
correct?
Yep.
Can that be part of Hamo's law?
No, that's a different law.
Isn't that Cole's law?
I think you're thinking of a salad.
Coleslaw.
Damn.
I was like, fuck.
They're too good.
Now everyone knows the spiciest dish I can handle.
Yeah.
My dad was trying to explain to me that there's actually a lot of complicated math around queuing that I refuse to look up.
Is your dad a robot?
Well, he's an autistic maths teacher. Well, he was a math teacher. Yeah.
How do you teach autistic maths? I thought all maths was autistic maths.
Now remember, none of the numbers have feelings and neither do you.
Now let's go count some cards.
We're going to be counting anyway.
I think
All right, kids, another excursion to the casino.
I think we did talk about this on a very early version of episode of the Flog Cabin, but when my dad was a math teacher at high school, he would take the kids to like the horse racing to teach them probability. And like you just couldn't do that anymore.
That's like the Western Sydney version of the movie 21.
Wait, what was that one where they all learned to count cards?
That's 21. Kevin Spacey.
Yes, right. Sorry. I'm with you there. Did like your dad just like, yeah, so now you understand probability? Just place this bet for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just the
Mr. Hamilton's been banned from the track.
banned from every track in the country. How's he doing it?
How old are you? A prime number. Which one? Don't worry about it.
Going down to the RSL to learn trigonometry. We're doing history now. This is the Queen of the Nile.
We're doing some ancient history. There were 5 dragons.
Oh, Eastern Studies. Very progressive. All right, time for PE. Everyone get out your sports bet app. He took kids to the race course.
Yeah.
Did they put bets on? Did he put bets on?
Yeah. But just couldn't do that anymore. This country's gone soft. Not allowed to teach children gambling addictions anymore.
Yeah.
Well, I think you'd have to take them to the course and teach them a lesson about gambling and probability, then have a slightly shorter lesson about not gambling.
Yeah, just at the very end. And
Please
don't
gamble
forget,
responsibly. Does it?
Yeah. Chances are you're about to lose.
yeah, there's probability for you.
But doesn't it feel good to let it ride?
Chances are you're about to lose,
Chances
but
are,
not me.
unless you follow the lessons in this class.
Yeah.
Unless you pay attention.
Look, you could have bought a chicken tender roll for $2.50, or you could put that on number 7 in the 9th. Triple that money and buy 3 chicken tender rolls.
But you got to watch between the bookies odds and the tote. You got to watch between the fixed odds and the tote.
Yeah, you got to see if there's any movement.
You got to see if there's movement, and then you got to go jump on it.
Absolutely right. And obviously, if you win, don't be a little bitch. Let it ride.
Yeah.
Go again.
Flog Cabin brought to you by Ladbrokes.
Should we call it? Should we wrap it?
We should go to the Patreon.
Jump across to the Patreon?
What do we got for the Patreon this week, Dan?
Well, I thought we'd do some classic content, I believe.
Classic
cool.
content?
Something to look forward to, guys. So
Holy
enjoy
shit.
that.
No, would you rathers?
What a carrot.
I got a couple of would you rathers out there.
Would you rather is good.
Because the thing about the would you rather, which is fun, there are some great ones on the internet. I think I found some pretty fun ones because with that online show I do with Steve Hofstetter, we did like would you rathers, right? But that was quite a conservative, just kind of liberal. Well, I was going to say conservative liberal crowd.
Would you rather vote for George Bush or Ronald Reagan?
Jeez, I'm sorry I've missed all this content. Fuck. Can we watch it back now?
Well, basically, we did the would you rathers, and I was like, I kept it like kind of the non kind of crude sexual ones.
Can it just be Flog Cabin reacts to your old would you rather?
I would really prefer that not to happen, but we absolutely can do that. We've got them all there. They're in the Ask Us Everything Facebook group. We can find them.
I love the idea that our Patreon is just us reacting to old Daniel Muggleton content.
We'd have to be shitting on it, obviously.
Yeah. What else would we
Dan,
be
really
doing?
good joke, bro. Really like that one. Keep it up.
Yeah, it's more like director's commentary.
Yeah, so I thought I got some good would you rathers, and if the floggers would ever like to submit a would you rather, DM us or email us flogcabin@gmail.com.
Yeah.
Or if you're a flogger who is also a cuck, get a black guy to email us. Still the same email address, flogcabin@gmail.com.
Here's what I've learned about floggers is they love to contribute to the podcast when we don't ask them to. And the minute we ask them to, they're like, I don't want to call that number.
No,
I'm not going to do that.
and I've never respected anybody more.
Yeah.
Just be some lazy DM in our Instagram feed, and we just don't need that.
Oh, Hammer, one time I did cocaine. Cool. We'll bring it up on the pod.
Boys, you'll love this. I'm pissing on a rock in the fucking in a park.
We did love that, to be fair. That was pretty good.
We didn't like that. It was a beautiful view.
Yeah.
The vista was unbelievable.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
actually,
now-
think about the would you rathers. If you can send us pictures of you pissing, that's what we'd love on this podcast.
Yeah, if you want to call the phone a flog, which is there, it's on SpeakPipe.
Speak pipe.
SpeakPipe, that's what it's called.
I
Yeah,
thought that was something in Bellingen.
that doesn't make sense.
You got the glory hole and the speak pipe.
That's where you review the glory hole.
Yeah.
How was it this week?
this
Not
co-
that glorious.
Is this cock on?
It's cock on.
Keep tapping it. Still not on. You getting anything? No.
What are you doing? You're looking
I'm trying to find the exact
speak pipe.
SpeakPipe.
Just Google speak
Your
pipe
phone a
flog
flog
cabin.
is
Fuck
here.
me.
No, I just want people to have it. So if you want to leave us a voice message, leave a voice message to the cabin, which we will probably play.
Yeah.
We're desperate for content, so yes.
We would love someone to call in www.speakpipe.com/flogcabin. That's how you do it.
Make it funny.
Yep.
And if you
Call
just
in.
Google Speak Pipe Flog Cabin, it does not come up. So
Yes.
that's good to know.
But
Bad
it's going to
advice.
be in the link tree. Fuck's sake, I'm going to sort it out. But yeah, that was one of the first cabins for 2025. Thanks for joining us in a brand new year. Stay flogged up.
Check the dodgems.
Bye.